So we are painting again. Going back and I'm gonna fix up the throne. The dudes in the color still look really good, so we're not gonna touch that. I'm gonna make the throne a little darker, and then we're gonna work on all these huge amount of candles. I don't even know how many there are on here. An insane amount of candles. We'll work on that. And I might have to retouch up the base, the rocks and stuff once we do the candles, because it's probably gonna get a little sloppy and probably end up goofing on the paint a little bit. But yeah, so we're just gonna chill. We got the baby monitor on in case the baby wakes up, which is as he makes a noise right now, right when I go to start. So he might wake up, and if he does, I gotta go take care of that. So, but yeah, otherwise we're just gonna chill and do some painting. I'm gonna start. I need a darker brown color. We're probably gonna do the raw umber or the. Where's the other one? There's another. I guess the raw umber is the only one. Okay, we'll use let's see if this is the right color. I'm not sure that it is. Nah, we don't want the raw umber. The raw umber is what we used for the back part. I don't want it. No, let's do the burnt umber. Maybe the burnt umber might be the right color brown. Not. Nah. No, that should be okay. We'll do the burnt umber. And so what I want to do with the burnt umber is I want to take it and I just want to do a little wash over top of it. So what a wash is when you take just a little tiny hint of paint and you put in a whole bunch of water, and it makes the water, it like tints the water the color of the paint you're using. You don't want to use a lot of water, but it tints the color of the water you're using to the color of the paint, obviously, and that way you can put the color you want on there, a very small thin layer of it. And so you end up getting just it ends up filling in all the little nooks and crannies and things, and it adds just the thinnest little hint of color on top of what you already have. So you end up getting this really nice finish on top of it, where it looks like it's been coated in whatever the color is. Usually people use black to do a black wash on it, and that really makes the nooks and crannies and stuff pop. But I don't want to do a black wash on this because I think that's going to make it look too dark. I don't want it to look too dark, and I don't want it to look more black than brown. So I'm going to do it a wash in this brown color, in the what was it, the burnt sienna? Was that what I used? I don't even remember anymore. Or the burnt umber. Yeah, the burnt umber. And give it a nice little brown color. So it looks like the burnt umber has kind of like a really old, like it's kind of dusty look to it. And so that's going to really add some nice, I think it's going to add some nice, it's a little too, this might be the wrong color. Black might have been the way to go. It also might be too watered down. I might want to add some more actual paint to it. Let's try adding a little more actual paint to it. So I don't want it to be too thin of a layer, but I also don't want it to be too thick of a layer. It's a tough balance to find sometimes. Usually people have this stuff already pre-mixed with specific ratios, and they use like paint thinner and stuff too. And I don't have that. which is fine. You don't need to have that when you do this. It can help depending on what you're trying to do with it. Yeah, this isn't quite right. I think it might be too light. I think I might actually need a hint of black to go with it. That's the raw umber. This is the black. So just like the smallest bit of black on it, I think that'll just darken it up a little bit without going to... I used way too much black on here. Of course. All right, let's put it in the big one. Maybe the big one will... Yeah, that looks better. Just want it a little... I just want a little darker. Just a little bit darker. I think I put too much water in this mix. I think it's too thin. Maybe a black wash would have been correct here. No, I think I got the right idea. I think I just need more of the brown and a lot less water. So we're gonna scrap this one. I got another thing here, but it's like coated in black paint at the bottom from a black wash I did. It's gonna be hard for me to see the color in that. I really need to coat this with cleanish water and really get it thinned out so that it goes on like a wash. Get the excess off because I don't want too much excess. I'm going to take a little bit of this paper towel and just kind of dab off the stuff that I already put on. So it really doesn't need to be like that on there. Now we do this. Now it's looking kind of older. Having this really bright orangey brown color was just not quite what I wanted. I need it more, I need it to look more like wood. I want it really watered down so it doesn't completely cover up all the color that I already put, but also it needs to get it more muted and more of that kind of brown without it being too brown. Because it's already a nice brown color. And I don't want it to get, I don't want to lose all of the orangey. Like I want there to be some, but I also want the wood to look really old and kind of beat up and ancient, you know. So having little bits of the old orangey color underneath the brown, I think is really going to make it pop. Or not make it pop, but it's going to make it look really old and beat up, and that's really what I want it to look like. I want it to look old and beat up. And just like it's been sitting there and kind of rotting for ages. That's what I want. Also want to cover up the brush strokes that ended up on here last night. There's a lot of blatant brush stroking, and I really didn't want that. But I kept the orangey brown a bit too thin, so it got kind of messed up. It's definitely starting to look better. That's looking a lot better. A lot better. It's all darker now. Just want to make sure the coats are thin. But it's looking a lot better. Little boy is making sounds. Hopefully he's still sleeping okay. He tends to be a little noisy when he's sleeping. Lots of squeaking and creaking. He needs some oil because he's got a squeaky door. His door needs some oil because he squeaks so much. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. And I know you're not going to see a lot of this stuff because Atrum Rex is going to be sitting in the throne, and he's going to be the king and all that stuff. But I still really want this to look good before I put him on it. And this looks a lot better now. I like this a lot more. It's still kind of light, but honestly, I think that's okay. Because I don't want it to be like super mega dark. But I also don't want it to be the bright, obnoxious orange that it was last night before we started adding in this stuff. I'm going to get this part done. Get things a little less orangey. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So with the leftover stuff, it occurs to me I haven't touched anything else that could be considered wood. Like there's a banner here. That banner needs some of this brown, I think. Because that's been here for who knows how long. And it should have some wood color on it too. A piece of support on here, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to break this whole thing off. I need to use the pliers. Okay. Got it. It's a really nice brown for this banner. I like that. And then I want to do like a red, I think, for the flag itself. And then for this banner, I'm going to make that one metal and add some gold and stuff on it, or at least some yellowy gold stuff. But I wanted to get this banner brown while we have the extra, since we're not using it for much else. Alrighty, actually there's a little bit more. turn off the baby monitor, because it sounds like Mama might be ready to give him some food. I'm going to go double check on that real quick. I'll be right back. I'm glad they're having fun. Okay. It's not feeding time. I was wrong. We're turning this back on. I was wrong. But that's okay. Alright. Let's see. We got that. We got that. Might want to do, once the throne dries, I might want to put a little bit more of the brown on it. Turn it down just a little bit. Yeah, I think I want to do just a little bit more brown, like up here on the top parts, because it just really doesn't look very good. Like that. I might want to get like an actual good, decent layer of brown on this part here. It might still be too damp for me to actually get what I want on here. I guess that'll probably do. I think I want to get a little bit more brown on here, just because it's not quite as dark as the rest of it. Squeaky baby. Yeah, that looks a lot better like that. I might do a little dry brushing on the front. Maybe not. You're not going to see it anyway. Alright. That should be good. Okay. No, except for up there. Okay. That's done. Now I want to do, I think I want to do the candles, which are going to be a giant pain in the ass. Color-wise, we're not going to do like a plain white candle. That's just stupid. I kind of want to have it be kind of maybe kind of yellowy. Or let me think about this. I'm not sure what color I want the actual candle itself to be. Let's take a minute and do a little bit of looking around. take a second. Let's turn this on. We'll say something like evil candle. Like, we don't want it to be, I don't know that I want it to be white or that kind of orangey white. I don't think I want black candles either. Black just seems like the wrong color of candle. Oh, look, I need to reposition that. All right, hold on a second. Let me fix this. So I switched the monitors. All right. I don't think I want it to be red either. I want the flame to be a similar greenish color to what we did to the back of the back of the chair. But I don't want the... Let's do like a spirit candle. Now, this is all going to be like religious spirit garbage. All right, that's a mistake. Let's go with... How do you make a blue flame? Copper sulfate. Oops. So copper sulfate. What does copper sulfate look like? Okay, stop. Stupid microphone. So copper sulfate looks like it's blue. Well, there goes that idea. All right. Shit. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be... If we look at, what if we do like, I feel like ritual candles. Ritual candles are probably any color. Dang it. All right. Shit. All right, let's go with, I guess. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I guess we can make it like normal candle colored, kind of. Like a, I want it to be like a, maybe like a yellow, kind of. Picking up the kids that aren't actually in that room. It's kind of weird. If we do like a, feel like a yellow ochre, maybe. If we take this and maybe we add a little bit of white to it. So I don't want it to be exactly this color, but I wouldn't mind it being. Okay, that's an issue. They need to get out of there. Oh boy. It's noisy out there. So maybe the yellow ochre, and if we add a little bit of white to it, just so it kind of calms it down a little bit. I don't want it to be the bright yellowy color, but I do like the idea of it being kind of yellowy, but just not like this. It's like a mustard, like a mustard kind of yellow. I don't know how well we can. It's this right here, this kind of mustardy yellow. I don't want it to be that. I want it to be.
Daddy's painting.
Yes. Hi. I'm also streaming.
Yes, I know you are.
Okay. I'm just giving you a heads up.
That's fine.
Hi.
I'm not naked or anything.
No, I know.
Oh, you're
But
painting.
now the kid's on.
You are painting these?
Yeah, I'm painting this right now.
I was going to suggest that maybe we let them have a family-oriented movie.
Sure.
I'm tired.
You're gonna need to.
I don't mean right stat now either, but
You're gonna need to. I took the plug for the Amazon thing for the Fire Stick and used that to charge Cade's drone.
okay. Well, I don't mean
So,
right stat now.
well, sure, but I'm just letting you know that that's where that is. So.
Well, then you don't have to watch.
Anyway.
Anyway, okay.
Monster trucks. Funny boy. The 3-year-old loves monster trucks. It's really his thing. He's got a whole bunch of Monster Jam stuff. Let's put this here. Let's take a little bit of the yellow and let's see what we get from it. I think this is correct. I think doing this and then adding the white to it is really going to make the color of candle that I want. I think it needs just a little bit more white. So I don't want it to be a perfect white, and I don't want it to be a blatant yellow either. I think that's good. It's like a weird kind of a weird yellow. Actually, let's add a little bit more yellow to it. So I don't want it to be quite that pale. I want it to be more yellowy than that. I think that's good. I think I might add like a little bit of a wash to them. Not a dark wash per se, but maybe like a slight red color to them. Which sounds kind of weird when you say it out loud, but I think if I add just a tiny hint of red, I think that'll make it a little more interesting, personally. So let's do this. Let's get the tiny thing out. Now we're going to do the candles. I don't really care if the candles are 100% exact. I mean, I'm still gonna try, but if it's not like a perfect coating or whatever, it's fine. There's so many of these candles, and honestly, I'm not gonna worry about the flames either yet. Yeah, I think that's the color I want on them. I think so. So I don't know if you can, how well that can be seen on there. But if you look at this right here, you can kind of see the, man, that glare is just horrible. Alright, anyway, I think that's where I'm going to go with the candles. Color-wise. I definitely need a lot more paint though, because this little bit is not going to be enough. So let's take a bunch of this white, mix it in with all this yellow, and hopefully we can make a similar color. Squeaky baby. That way we have a lot to work with. Again, I don't really care so much about the flames. I mostly just want to get the candles themselves coated as best I can without also ruining the rocks down at the bottom. But if I gotta repaint, you know what, I'm just gonna repaint the rocks. I'm gonna get, because making that kind of gray, dark gray color really isn't that bad, and I'd rather make it so I don't have to worry about perfection right now. Definitely gonna go back in and fix it though. So I'm definitely going to paint those parts a bit. I think I've got some glow in the dark paints, and I think I'd like to add that to this somewhat. I think I'm going to do that with the candle flames. I've got a nice blue and a green glow in the darks, and I think I'd like to do that to the candles, and I think I'd like to do that to the big boy as well, since I really want to try to make him like a greenish color. So I think I'd like to I think I would like to try to get him to glow in the dark. I think that'll really be a fun extra little thing for this one, especially with how I want the summon to look. The big ghost boy in the thumbnail. Because that's not the big boss. Big boss is this little knight looking guy who's the actual unburied king named Atrum Rex, which is a strange name for a necromancer guy, but you know, whatever. It's not my thing. That's what they named him, and that's what they named him. So be it. Not my dude, not my naming scheme. But I do think that he's really cool, and he's the big boss, and the big undead guy with the sword. The thumbnail of this video, of this stream, is the dude is not the big boss. I should really be using the smaller brush for this. I don't know why I'm using the big one. I really like this brush a lot. This one in particular. Don't know why. But it works really well, and I really like using it. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think that happens to a lot of painters, is that they find like one or two brushes that they absolutely adore, and then that's all they use forever. Until it, you know, they can't use it anymore, then they go find another one. And I've got a ton of brushes that I could be using. But instead I'm only using this one. And then after we get the candles done, we're going to work on the iron stuff that goes around it. It's really hard to get the back side of these candles. They're so small and there's like a million of them. And I, of course, used a black primer, so it's really difficult to see them all. And if you miss a spot, because it's a black primer, it's very obvious. I'm going to be honest, I have never used this type of primer before. This is my first time trying an actual full-on primer. I used something called a gesso before that I think does similar stuff, but I'm actually not sure that it does, which is why I'm finally switching over to like an actual full-on primer. So I may have made mistakes in the past because of that. But I don't know for sure if a gesso works for this or not. I'm really not sure. The last bit of candles. Looks like I missed a couple right here. Alrighty. So that's it for, I think that's it for the candles. At least the wax parts of them. I might go over a couple spots just to make sure that it's not too dark on those areas. So I really don't want it to look nice. You know, don't want them to be too dark. I don't care if they're just this color. Although I think, now that I'm looking at it, I think maybe the dark under coat with the primer might actually not have been too horrible. So it kind of adds a bit of a thing to it. Uh-oh. There's a boy coming in here. Hey, buddy. What you doing, kiddo?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
I'm painting. That's right. What you doing? Oh, you got to die, huh? Are they playing Munchkin out there, buddy? What are you doing?
I did it.
No, you can't sit with me.
I did it.
I'm sorry. You got to get out of here, buddy. Come on. You don't get to do that. Oh, come here. Oh, you're so big. You want to look at it, huh? You can take a quick look at it. I'm going to hold it, okay? You can look at it. So I just painted all these candles. And I'm going to put the fire on the candles too. I'm going to make the fire blue or green. I'm not sure which one yet. Okay? That's what I'm doing.
I don't do it.
You want to watch me paint it?
Yes.
I'm sorry, buddy. You can't watch me paint it. You got to go back up there and be with Mama and your brother. Okay? No, you can't be in here watching me paint it. You're going to get bored, and then you're going to start trying to mess with it, and then you're going to try to start painting it. And that's not okay. I'm sorry, buddy. You want to paint something? Is that what's going on? Oh, do you want to take this pen? You can take this guy. That's the rhinoceros beetle. Unfortunately, he died. He's not moving anymore. You can definitely look at him and see him moving. No, he's not alive. He's dead. He's moving just because you moved his arm. I gave him such a Alright. Little interruptions every now and then. Not a big deal. Alright. I need to look at my glow-in-the-dark paint. Wait, do I want to use this ochre color anywhere else? Because there's still a fair amount of it left. Get this cleaned off quick. Do I want to use this color, this ochre color? I might want to use it on one of the swords, maybe, or maybe this big banner here. It might look good on the hilts. Yeah, let me get. So while we have it, we might as well use it for that. Let me get the hilt part of the swords here. And then once we get that, painted these colors here. And, you know, we'll go over the rest of the swords with, I've got like a silver color and some gray and whatnot. We'll make it look like a real, like a better sword than this. But I want to get this little bit of color going first. Buddy, you can't be in here, buddy. You gotta go back out there. Go back out there. Hey. I love you. I understand you want to just hang out with me. I'm sorry, buddy. You can't hang out with me today. I'm painting. Hey. I love you. I'll kick you out again. I'm gonna lock the door this time. No, you can't be in there. I'm sorry, bud. Nope, you stay out here, buddy. Alright. He's a cute kid, and I love him very much. Alright, let's see. About So we did the candles. I wanted to do the flames of the candles, and I wanted to see what the blue and the green look like. So I've got a blue and I've got a green. I think the green is probably going to be the way to go because I think I'm going to end up using this on the big boy. So I think we're going to go with the green. Of course, it's covered in plastic, and I'm an idiot for not using pliers to get it open. There we go. Okay, so what does this green look like? You know what? This green looks really good. And this might actually look really good on the people, too. I might take a little bit of this and paint the chair this kind of green color, too. That might be really interesting. Yeah, it's very similar to the emerald green from earlier. In fact, it might actually be a better green because it's kind of minty looking. And a minty green is very similar to what that emerald green did. Let me see about... Yeah, I think we are going to do a little bit of this onto the chair. Let me see how this looks on the candles first. I don't know how well this is going to actually show up candle-wise. That might be better. I'm going to have to really layer it on these candles. That's okay, though. And I'm definitely not going to water it down, because if I water it down, it's going to ruin the... I think that's going to mess up the glow-in-the-dark effect. It's kind of watery. I'm not surprised at how watery it is. Hold on. Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something. Yeah, I know. Just hold on. Okay, just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Just needed to. Alright, I just needed to get that one bit done what I was focused on. You're getting Toby.
I'm getting Toby to nursing.
Yeah.
Picking up the nursing.
Yeah.
And
Hang on a sec.
he'll need to, and then I'm going to take a look back. Toby. Hey, buddy. Oh.
Alright. Stream needs to be over for now. We gotta do some IRL stuff. So, I'll catch y'all another time. To take a quick look. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it. There's little blips of green, kinda. You can kinda see on the tips of the candles. That's done with the glow-in-the-dark paint. I think it's going to look really nice. I'm not sure that the choice of yellow is going to go really well with that green because it's like that mint green color. But I don't know. I'll mess with it and see if it turns out okay. We'll see what it looks like when it dries and whatnot. So, all right, I'll do it. I'll catch y'all some